Привет, ребят. Продолжаем искать нашего грабителя-убийцу, псевдо-ворона или кем он там окажется, не знаю. В прошлый раз мы остановились на том, что я не знал, куда больше идти. У нас произошло убийство графини. Мы поймали какого-то воришку, и теперь нам надо как-то с ним поговорить.
Dr. Gebhardt locked the door, and until I have good reason, I won't wake him up. Something tells me that he wouldn't be amused. There are little stones in the flower pot. Not only does the poor plant have to make do without sunlight, it doesn't have any soil either. Really?
Ага, пару камней.
Although, sooner or later.
Окей. Я так понимаю, что камнями мы будем нашего сонного офицера отпугивать. Точнее, не отпугивать, а отвлекать. Давайте попробуем. О, вот он наш пацанёнок.
Matt is keeping himself busy with that strange game. He seems to be okay again, but I think he'd be running around all over the place if he'd really come to terms with what happened on the train.
А с ним нельзя поговорить?
Hello there, partner.
Hi.
Are you all right?
Uh-huh.
Your mother and Professor Lucien seem to be on very good terms with each other. Don't you like him?
Don't know.
He seems to be very nice.
I guess.
What are you playing there?
I'm playing shuffleboard. At least I'm trying to.
Never played it before.
It's easy. Professor Lucien explained it to me.
And who won?
We didn't play.
You didn't want to play with him, did you? Do you want to play a game with me?
Sure.
Then let's get started.
Oh, yeah. What are we playing for?
I thought we'd just play for fun.
That's boring. We have to bet something. Otherwise, it isn't fun.
You English people.
So I'll bet my brand new slingshot. And you?
I don't want to gamble.
How about ice cream in Cairo?
Okay. If I win, I get the slingshot. If I lose, I get an ice cream in Cairo.
Hey! Never try to cheat Matt Miller. So, what do you say? Ice cream versus slingshot?
All right. Let the games begin.
Нормально, но надо было все-таки правила, мне кажется, спросить. хрена не понимаю. А, во. Все, я понял.
Rats.
Haha, I win. That's one ice cream for me.
You've been practicing. I still don't really understand the rules.
Oh man, you have to pay attention. Okay, it's very easy. You play with the blue pucks and I play with the red ones. You have to push the pucks with this stick into the zone over there and score as many points as possible.
Sounds easy. How many pucks do I have?
6. Now here comes the kicker. First it's your turn, then mine, and so on. But everyone is allowed to shoot the other person's pucks out of the zone.
Давай еще
This
раз
time
поиграем.
I'll win.
Nah, I doubt that.
Ух ты. Малый какой, глянь. Надо послабее бить. Вот так вот ему. Как так-то?
Oh.
I win again. That's another ice cream.
Давай еще раз
I
сыграем.
still don't really understand the rules.
Oh man, you have to pay attention. Okay, it's very easy. You play with the blue pucks and I play with the red ones. You have to push the pucks with this stick into the zone over there and score as many points as possible.
Sounds easy. How many pucks do I have?
6. Now here comes the kicker. First it's your turn, then mine, and so on. But everyone is allowed to shoot the other person's pucks out of the zone.
This time I'll win.
Nah, I doubt that.
А. Фигушки ему. Я могу, по идее. Блин, хотел сдвинуть его. Все.
That's it.
Oh, man.
Школота.
The athlete wins the day.
One more time.
No, that's enough for me.
All right. Here,
Are you sure?
gambling debts are debts of honor.
I'll give it back to you when I don't need it anymore, okay?
Okay, but make sure my mom doesn't catch you with it. She thinks it's dangerous.
Ahem.
What do you want?
Inspector Legrand is questioning the first of the passengers in the saloon.
And?
It will be hours before he gets to the stowaway.
And?
We'll save time if I question him.
We'd also save time if you stopped asking me the same things over and over again. I will not let you in. What time is it, by the way?
Got an appointment?
No, but I'm hungry.
Go and get yourself something. I'll mind the door in the meantime.
Ha. You could bring me something, though.
Go and get your food yourself. I have better things to do.
Oh, yeah? Like unmasking a murderer? I'm sure you're up to it. Judging by your age and rank, you must have solved loads of spectacular cases in the past.
No, I was sidelined and spent my days sitting on my behind. Does that sound familiar to you? The bottle should be full of water, unless... No way to verify that. I can't get the bottle without him noticing. The bottle should be full of water, unless the good No way to verify that.
Непонятно, что мне делать тут. Давайте используем подсказку, кстати. У меня же есть много подсказок, которые не потратил.
I have to talk to the young fellow right away. Even though he was already under arrest at the time of the shot, he may have noticed something before. And what about the other gunshot? Could the second missing bullet from the murder weapon be stuck down there in one of the wooden crates? If I want to get into the cargo hold, I'll have to get rid of the constable first. He won't let me talk to our young friend. Ahem.
What's the matter now? Did you bring me something to eat?
So, what do you want to eat?
Oh, anything. An apple or something like that.
Leave it with me.
Yeah, thanks.
Ну, может быть, вот так получится. Принести ему поесть, а он меня пустит.
You're the only one who was on the train and who has no alibi for last night.
As I said, I was in my cabin.
Are you sure that it was your cabin and not the Baroness's?
Legrand will question the guests one after another. But if he doesn't get the answers that he wants to hear, it could become unpleasant for them.
Ну пусть опрашивает, нам бы пожрать.
Whatever Constable Oliver wants, he's getting ham and eggs. And just a pinch of salt for our friendly constable. Good. Constable Oliver.
Huh?
Ham and eggs, piping hot.
Oh, I shouldn't really.
I don't see anyone here who'd rebuke you. It was a hard night.
Yeah, true. Oh, delicious. Just enough salt. Oh, that was good of you. Cheers.
You don't expect me to wash your dirty dishes as well, do you?
Oh, of course not, Your Majesty. Oh, that was a proper meal and no mistake.
Мне это не помогло, я так понимаю. Надо что-то думать.
The constable is quenching his thirst with a bottle of water. You'll have a problem when it's empty, but I can't wait that long.
А если я ее с рогатки разобью?
All right.
Ow! 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 Ah! Hey, Zelda, what in blazes was that?
Меткий, да?
What?
Something hit me!
You mean someone shot at you?
Yes, well, no, I don't know. Didn't you notice anything?
I was riveted by the fantastic view. We Swiss aren't used to seeing the horizon like this.
And my bottle's broken too. Oh, I don't believe this.
Беда.
Could you bring me something to drink? Those ham and eggs were pretty salty.
I'm sorry. I have to proceed with my investigations. Goodbye. Let's see how long he can resist his thirst. Not long at all.
Так и так.
Nervous? I would be too in your position. Who are you?
My name is Adil, and you are...
Constable Zellner. Why did you sneak onto the ship, Adil?
I wanted to go back home.
You're Egyptian?
There's no work for me in Italy. I want to see my family again.
And since you don't have money, you stowed away.
So what if I did?
So, it was you who knocked me out?
Me? Never.
No? Where were you when I was attacked?
Well, I couldn't take anything with me on this trip, so I snuck into the kitchen and took some canned goods.
Interesting. And how do you know when I was attacked?
Well, I thought it was yesterday, shortly before we set sail.
I take this bump personally. What were you searching for on deck last night?
I was hiding the whole evening. I wanted to go out and get some fresh air, see the stars. But then suddenly, they were looking for me.
Were you in one of the cabins?
No!
Did you see anyone on the deck or on the roof?
No!
And after we arrested you?
The English policeman put me in this cell. Then he left. I've been here ever since.
And you didn't notice anything along the way?
No, nothing.
What about the gunshot? Didn't you hear it?
Yes, the English policeman had already arrested me. We heard a bang and looked around.
And then?
Then, the Bobby was in a hurry to get rid of me. He almost pushed me down the stairs and locked me in here. He left, and then a short time later, the alarm went off.
Constable Oliver wasn't with you anymore when the alarm went off?
No. I was scared that the ship would sink with me sitting here like a rat in a trap.
It's hard for me to believe a single word of your story.
Because I'm a foreigner?
Because you seem to have learned our language in the space of a day. Accent-free.
Believe what you want.
Who paid you to distract us?
What?
You went for a walk around the deck and let yourself be seen. Everyone goes off hunting you, and in the meantime, your partner shoots the Baroness in peace.
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't want to distract anyone. I just want to go home.
You're a liar. And a bad one at that.
But sir, I'm telling the truth.
And I'm the Raven. Inspector Legrand will deal with you. He's lying like a cheap rug. But he probably doesn't know anything about the murder. Very disappointing. So I have to keep searching. What interests me most...
Давайте ящик посмотрим.
Whoever fired the shot hit the crate. Did the shooter just want to intimidate me? Or maybe he needed the bullet? Can't see anything. If the bullet is still stuck in the wood, it's too deep to reach with my fingers.
Не говори, что щипчики для льда не
No,
подойдут.
the bullet hole is too small for the tongs. The young man is lying like... The cargo hold also seems to... At least for the ones who don't wear... A stroke of luck. Oil-stained overalls. And here, an old toolbox. That's been through a lot. Hardly any paint. I'll take it with me.
Кстати, можно вскрыть
Some wrenches,
замок.
a bit of wire wool, an oily cloth, and here, a screwdriver.
Серьезно, отвертка их достала?
Well, I think the bullet is still in the wood. I'm not a weapons specialist, but at first sight I'd say that this bullet looks exactly the same as the one Dr. Gebhardt gave me for Legrand. That would mean that the murderer also fired a shot here in the cargo hold before the murder. But why? Did they just want to make sure the old guns still worked? Or was it something else? And did the bullet really come from the same gun? I can only check that in Legrand's cabin.
Пошли. Привет.
That takes the biscuit.
I noticed that the door was unguarded. I just wanted to make sure that everything was all right.
Tell it to Legrand. He's expressly forbidden anyone to speak to the witness before he does.
All right, let's go to Legrand and tell him what happened. You fell asleep and then you left the door unguarded. Well, are we going?
No, but don't try it again.
Of course not.
Я так понял, рогатку можно ему отдать.
Hello, Matt.
Hi there.
Matt.
What?
Here's your slingshot back.
Really? Thanks.
You're welcome, but... You should put Constable Oliver on the list of people who'd better not see it.
I understand. Don't worry, I'll be careful.
Good man. I have to leave again.
Sure.
Так, и чё мне? Идти вскрывать его каюту? Блин, захотелось аж есть. После яичницы с беконом. Да спустись ты вниз.
The lock isn't especially secure.
А. Так, подожди, а как это работает? Непонятно. А, подожди. Так. 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 Не понял ничего.
I'm out of practice. The lock isn't especially secure. I should be...
Как-то сложно. Нет. У вас есть подсказки? Блин. Я реально не понимаю, как это сломалось. А, во. Так, погоди. Раз. Раз. Смотрим, это вот так. Выше надо. Ну. Как бы все, не?
I'm out of practice.
Да в смысле, я же все сделал правильно.
The lock isn't as...
А, подожди. Все равно не понимаю. Вот так может, нет? Я что-то не понимаю, что тут надо сделать. Или мне надо как-то сделать так, чтобы он в паз просто попал. Даже никак не получится. Блин, я серьезно не понимаю. Ну и что дальше? Боже, какой же я тупой. И что? Также, может, по звуку тут надо ориентироваться. Блин, ну это вообще жесть. Надо что-то куда-то, чтобы попало. Но я вообще не понимаю, как. Давай попробуем как-нибудь по-другому. Как-нибудь от середины. Просто серьезно не понимаю. Ну, блин, я вообще хз.
I'm out of practice.
Не, ну я понимаю то, что там надо, по
The
идее,
lock isn't especially secure. I should.
в эти пазы его просунуть. То есть, чтобы она проходила вот так вот. Но, блин, тут же вот в самом краю эта проволока, она не может пройти так. Или я что-то не понимаю. Вот тут вот она же должна быть тоже согнута. Я никак с ней не могу взаимодействовать больше. Либо это баг какой-то. Либо я даже и не знаю. Блин, я не знаю даже, что делать. Хоть гугли, прям реально. Просто целый час, наверное, сейчас буду возиться с этим замком. Ну, вообще не понимаю, как его скрыть. Бесит. Я вот слышу звук, как будто он вскрылся. Какой-то из шпилей этих. А какой? Я не понимаю. Первый, по-моему. Соответственно, давай сделаем вот так. Сложно. Это капец. Я реально ни хрена не понимаю. Что с ними надо сделать? Так, ладно, давайте подумаем.
I'm out of practice.
Не знаю, может тут есть подсказка? Как мне замок взломать? Не удивлюсь, если инспектор окажется вороном.
Dr. Gebhardt locked the door, and until I have good reason, I won't wake him up. Something tells me that he wouldn't be... Dr. Gebhardt... Something tells me that he wouldn't be amused.
Так, какие у меня еще варианты есть? Пойдем дальше, наверх, пока поищем что-нибудь. Потому что я не знаю, какого вскрытия. Пойдем дальше.
Excellent. Ah, that's just what I needed.
Куда ты пошел? То есть это я пришел сюда кофейку попить? Серьезно?
Legrand is absorbed in the interrogation. He still seems pretty annoyed. The violinist seems to be bearing the brunt of it. Mr. Kreutzer clearly feels uneasy. But does Legrand actually think he's the Raven? Lady Westmacott, may I bother you for a moment?
By all means, Mr. Zellner.
How is the questioning going?
Are you implying that I'm an eavesdropper? The inspector is placing a lot of pressure on our dear Mr. Kreutzer. He's the only one who was on the train and who doesn't have an alibi for last night.
Perhaps. But him? A murderer?
I know people like him. He doesn't have enough backbone to kill someone in cold blood and remain so calm. He'd turn it into a drama and then a farce, drink himself insensible, and then, railing at fate, pitch himself into the sea. Forget him. Legrand is wasting his time. Mr. Kreutzer just happens to be a perfect fit for the inspector's image of the Raven.
Athletic, cultured, moves among the rich and famous?
I'll eat his violin if he's the Raven or the murderer.
Did Miss Miller cope with all the excitement?
I think so. But what happened on the train was quite a shock for her. She wouldn't be able to go on if something happened to Matthew.
She's worried about him.
He's all she has. It breaks her heart that he lives at a boarding school and can't always be with her. But she sets her wishes and needs aside so that he can get a good education. That's her way.
Where is Matthew's father?
Gone. Run off. Ran away from his problems again. He drank a lot. More and more after each setback. It's better for both of them this way.
He left her.
She couldn't have borne it. She loved him and wanted to stick by him. She fell out with her family over him. They couldn't understand her. And when he left her, the ground opened up beneath her feet. For 2 weeks, she was as good as dead. If she didn't have Matthew, she'd be dead.
You seem to know a lot about it. I mean, about the time before Miss Miller began working for you.
I have my reasons.
And Matthew? Do you care as deeply about the children of your other employees?
If you fail with your own child, you hope to do better with others, Constable.
I have to be going, Lady Westmacott. Of course.
Давайте попробуем еще раз. взломать замок, пока я полностью не сгорел от него.
The lock isn't especially...
Я считаю, что он должен вот по этой линии белый строиться, но, блин, хз что-то. Выше, это ниже, да? Неправильно. Это выше и это выше. Это выше. Это ниже. Это выше. Да ладно.
There we go.
Не прошло и года. Сами не хуже ворона.
A lock, master, and son. Tough to crack. If I wanted to steal the eye, I'd concentrate on getting the 3 keys. If everything goes according to fingers... Neatly folded and unused. Legrand hasn't slept since we cast off, nor on the train. Legrand must have taken and developed the photos himself. He even made copies and enlargements. He seems to be prepared for everything, with access to more resources than a normal detective. Smells like chemicals. Legrand probably developed the photos in here. There are still fragments of the syringe that the inspector broke in the sink. Why is he pushing himself like this? Even if he catches the Raven, is it worth ruining his career and his health?
Все, что ли?
Another alarm. It was tripped at some point, but there's no way to determine when. A microscope. Looks like the one that Lutz Reichinger uses in his pharmacy, just more modern. There's nothing on the slide, and therefore nothing to see. Legrand's file on the Raven, centimeters thick, but totally useless. We're not dealing with the Raven. Why can't he see that? Our man is ruthless, a bomber, and quite probably a murderer. This file belongs in him. The inspector should concentrate on... This is the pipe from the cargo hold. Legrand seems to have inspected it for fingerprints. I can... There's not... I suppose it's some sort of stimulant. Legrand has been awake for at least 30 hours straight, maybe more. I shudder to think a policeman on a murder investigation, the risk that he could miss evidence. Or... Aha! That's the bullet the doctor removed from the back.
Зачем я взял, не знаю.
First, I have to put something under the microscope. Okay.
Куда ты пошел?
I need the second bullet for a comparison. All right.
И? Я ничего не понимаю. А, тут надо все, я понял. Нужно сложить картинку. Ну, мне кажется. Она не складывается. Ну, я так понимаю, что тут надо состыковать их. Как же это сложно, слушай. Почти совпало.
That's the proof. Whoever shot the Baroness also fired the shot in the cargo hold. What could that mean?
Как он? Ну, что за говно?
Both bullets came from the same gun. That means that whoever shot the Baroness, that fact may be important later.
Ну, надо ж пули забрать. Тебе не кажется?
Legrand must have taken them yesterday at the crime scene. A rough diagram of the ship. Legrand marked the Baroness's cabin. Seems like he didn't turn up any... Yes, that's how we found her yesterday. I think. I wasn't really myself at the time. No. Yes. The bed, the blood spot. The spot on the sheet is much bigger than the one on the mattress. There's blood on the blanket as well. A lot of blood, I'd say. This photo provides an overview of the crime scene. Shot in her sleep. She didn't feel a thing. She went to sleep and never woke up.
Почему я не могу посмотреть на остальные? Записки, например, нет? Все? Я не понимаю, почему он пули не забирает. Как бы логичнее было пули забрать и положить их на место.
The blanket and the sheet are gone. I guess they're in the medical center.
Все, да?
A masterpiece. Forensic teams use kits like these. They're placing increasing importance on the preservation of evidence. But not in Switzerland yet. It's a small lab used to conduct simple analysis on site. All right, what have we got here? Half of the tools in this box will be interesting. Actually, forensics and archaeology are really quite similar to each other. The goal is to find out what happened, whether a few hours ago or...
В принципе, буду, скипать, наверное, то, что долго он читает.
For forensics in the woods or the open country, I suppose. No use on a ship.
То, что не важно, в принципе, для...
Fingerprints are overrated. Smart thieves wear gloves, or they make sure that there are too many... Good Lord. Good Lord. Good Lord. A small glass bowl for... What's this? Oh, how practical. A hermetically sealed cotton swab for collecting samples. I'll take it. A small glass... Good Lord. Aha! This is some kind of inventory list. For each chemical it lists the chemical composition and a short comment on how to use it. And here's a list of the most important procedures. Fingerprints, gunshot residue, blood. I don't have to analyze the pillow and feathers to determine whether there's gunshot residue. I can smell it. And I don't have any other clues at the moment. A small... Good Lord. Good lord. A small glass bowl.
В принципе, мне тут больше ничего не надо, да? Да. В целом-то я тут все проверил. Ну, валим отсюда. Что нам еще делать? Что дальше?
Dr. Gebhardt locked the door, and something tells me that he wouldn't. Something tells.
А зачем мне опять его в каюту идти, если я там как бы был? Значит, я там не все посмотрел. Ну, по идее.
Either he wore gloves.
Ну, как бы тут.
All right. What have we? I'm sure Legrand could work magic in this alchemist's lab. Me, I'm just awestruck. Good lord. 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 A small glass. A small glass.
Так, давай посмотрим, может ватные палочки кровь нам надо взять. Давай попробуем. Просто нет других вариантов.
I always wanted to do that. That should be enough.
Сейчас будем что-то химичить, наверное.
Wasn't there something about blood samples? Fingerprints, gunshot residue, blood. Well, it explains how to confirm that something is blood. That's a start. You have to mix luminol and a hydrogen peroxide solution and then drip or spray the mixture on the blood. The solution turns blue and glows even if there's just a very small amount of blood. Okay then, luminol and hydrogen peroxide.
Ну.
A small glass...
Прошу прощения. Так.
Aha.
Налили.
Aha. I think it's better to drip the solution on the swab instead of dipping the swab into the solution. Maybe oxygen is an issue, or it doesn't work if you use too much of the solution. All right, so this is our reagent liquid. Okay, I'm filling the pipette and putting it down very carefully.
Так.
So, let's see what we have here. No blood. Not the slightest reaction. If I didn't make a mistake, and it wasn't that difficult, then the spot on the Baroness's bed isn't really blood. But if it isn't blood, what is it? And more importantly, why didn't Dr. Gebhardt notice anything? He was supposed to have examined everything. I'd say it's time to visit the medical center.
Так, ладно. Понятно, что что-то тут не то. Идем к доктору.
It seems impossible that Dr. Gebhardt could have shot the Baroness, but he must have noticed that the Baroness was lying in a pool of fake blood. Maybe he's... Let's find out.
О, не говоришь, что тут тоже надо взломать. Так, с чего начнем? Давай.
It's probably for emergencies, in case a passenger falls down and can't walk anymore. Possibly due to rough seas, or maybe the captain's well-stocked bar.
Просто ни о чем.
The sink looks like it's been cleaned recently. I can't say whether it was cleaned to comply with the hygiene regulations, or whether there was another reason. A tape recorder from Sibling. Interesting. The reel in the Baroness is... A microphone. Maybe Dr. Gebhardt records the results of his examinations and writes them down later.
Нельзя, да, использовать? Ладно.
The player is rather basic.
Ну, бобина.
I guess the trash bin is in here. Right. Paper towels, plastic packaging, cartons, and... Hold on. What's this? A burst rubber glove. It's knotted, and there's a red liquid all over the inside that looks like blood. I bet good money that it's the same fake blood I found in the Baroness's cabin.
Блин, это прикинь, если это доктор все сделал. Ну, блин. Хотя он был похож, кстати. Тот, который в поезде был, чел.
The player is rather basic.
Почему мне нельзя прослушать бобину на нем?
Dr. Gebhardt will have trouble explaining how rubber gloves full of fake blood got into his trash bin. First, the fake blood he missed in the Baroness's cabin, and now this. It doesn't look good for you, Doctor. That's proof enough for me that the Doctor is involved in this. I should report to Legrand.
Не-не-не, я хочу послушать еще что-нибудь. Или тут нельзя.
The player is...
Это все, что ли? Ну, по идее, я же должен как-то прослушать ее, если там бобина подходит.
Interesting. A tape on a reel. The reel belongs to a much better player, like the one from the Baroness's cabin. I can't be certain that this is the reel that was missing from the Baroness's cabin, but it seems quite likely. Okay. Nothing. Strange. There. Very interesting. A shot is audible on the tape, and the reel comes from the Baroness's cabin. It's all coming into focus.
Почему я не забрал?
Time to pay Legrand a visit. No. No, don't.
Да-да-да-да. Давайте посмотрим видео, закончим на сегодня.
Why couldn't you just leave it be? Let me go. Why are you doing this to me? You and the Baroness. Dr. Gebhardt, I don't know. Don't you understand what you are forcing me to do? You don't have to. It is almost over. You won't feel a thing. I am sorry you have to see all this. I should have used more chloroform.
Блин, хитрый доктор.
I have to distract him. And what next? Heart failure happens a lot at your age, especially given your background. I am still considering whether I should throw you overboard. Don't leave evidence. No evidence. But what if I'm seen. My plan was perfect. And then you ruined everything.
Злой доктор.
Why? Why? Why did the Baroness have to snoop around? Why did you have to snoop around? And that glove there. You want to plant evidence on me, yeah? I left no evidence. There is no trail. And yet you can't just leave me in peace, can you? Chloroform? I had it in my bag, just in case. You were supposed to be asleep. I am not a monster, you know? I have nothing against you. Nothing at all. But what can I do? You forced my hand. It's your fault. Yours alone.
Ну так.
On and on. On and on.
Так понимаю, мне нужно типа говорить, чтобы не вырваться. Блин, так сложно все.
Take it easy, Mr. Zellner. You will only hurt yourself. Shall we begin?
Ну что, как? Серьезно? Что, я умер, что ли?
Take it easy. You will only... No, please. It's almost over.
Так. А стример не тупой. Но стример сломался.
Take it easy, Mr. Shall we begin? It's almost over. I will...
Вовремя.
Are you okay?
Thanks.
A wet towel works miracles. I told you so.
Out with it then. What were you doing down there?
Inspector, at least let the constable recover his breath.
He almost killed himself.
Me? No.
Что за
Dr.
мадам?
Gebhardt would have taken care of that for me. Where is he?
Gebhardt is vanished without a trace. We're searching the ship from top to bottom.
One at a time. Tell me, Zelna, what did you find out?
Dr. Gebhardt killed Baroness von Trebitz.
Impossible.
Do you have proof?
Besides the fact that he wanted to kill me?
But wasn't the doctor with you when the shot was fired?
The gunshot was just a distraction. It wasn't the shot that killed the Baroness.
But how?
The shot that we heard was a recording. The Baroness had a tape recorder and good speakers in her cabin. Good enough to make the noise audible on the upper deck.
Is that just your suspicion, or do you have proof?
There's an audio tape in the medical center. The reel belongs to the tape player in the Baroness's cabin. And there's a sibling reel in her cabin that belongs to the recorder in the medical center. He recorded it in the cargo hold. His tape recorder has a microphone, and I removed a bullet from one of the boxes down there.
And it came from the murder weapon?
All right.
Inspector Legrand.
Let's pretend you're onto something. The shot we heard was just a recording. What happened next?
We all ran to the Baroness's cabin. She lay comatose in a pool of blood. Dr. Gebhardt pushed past you so that you couldn't get too close to the Baroness. He examined her and pronounced her dead. There was no reason for us to doubt him. The shot, the blood, the Baroness lying there lifelessly. But she was only unconscious, knocked out by the chloral hydrate that the doctor had poured into her glass shortly before.
The doctor had a glass in his hand when you came in.
He wanted to remove the evidence, but you gave me the glass instead, Captain DeConti, and unintentionally knocked me out as well.
Nonsense. There was blood everywhere. And the Baroness is certainly dead enough, isn't she?
Then who did shoot her? And when?
She wasn't shot. She was poisoned.
And yet I saw the hole in her chest with my own eyes.
Aha!
She must have been shot.
Well, ingenious. Where was she shot?
Блин, ну, наверное...
As I already said, it was Dr. Gebhardt. He had the sleeping Baroness brought to the medical center, where he had all the time in the world to shoot her.
A fine theory, but unfortunately incorrect. I examined the Baroness before she was taken away. She had a bullet wound in her chest.
Besides which, she was already cold when we brought her to the medical center.
All the same, it's worth considering the possibility. The doctor was alone in the cabin for a while. When the alarm went off, it was deafening. I couldn't even hear myself.
And I found a pillow with burn marks. Could have been used to muffle a gunshot.
And the blood?
The blood wasn't real. Dr. Gebhardt mixed up a liquid that looked like fresh blood to the casual observer, but the liquid remained red instead of becoming darker and browner from exposure to the air. That meant he had to clean the body and get rid of the bedding.
But the blood was already there when we first entered the cabin.
Dr. Gebhardt was in the Baroness's cabin before the murder. He hid a surgical glove full of the red liquid under her sheet. The Baroness, dead tired, fell onto her bed, the glove burst, and the blood spread across the bed. I found the burst glove in the medical center.
But why did he do it? What was his motive?
Inspector?
Выглядит-то бодренький.
I can only speculate. The Baroness spent the day rummaging through her old family photos.
No, no, no.
Do you have anything to contribute, Constable?
Confession, sir. Dr. Gebhardt was the Raven. It's all here. He admits to everything.
What does it say?
It says, "Do you still remember, my dear Nico? The streets were wet with rain and the scent of roasted barley and fermenting yeast wafted over to us from the brewery. A dog barked until your shot struck down the innocent one. After that silence, not a single sound except for my soft steps fading on the wet cobblestone street. They made a hero of you, and I, at last, found peace. At least until the urge returned. Some of us are not made for retirement, my friend. I thought they would assign this case to you, and that thought pleased me. We'd finally find out who was truly the better man. And it pains me now to have to admit that you and your little gumshoe got the better of me. You drove me into a corner, forced me to make mistakes. I congratulate you on your triumph, but no one will confine the Raven to a cage. There is but one way out, and that is by my own hand. Farewell, Raven Hunter R.
Да не, ну это не может быть он. Все слишком
Inspector
просто.
Legrand!
Inspector?
I was right. I told them all, over and over again. But no one would listen.
What about the handwriting, the wording? Does the farewell letter match the Raven's other letters?
Yes, it's his handwriting, his words. I've read all the Raven's letters, all of them, over and over again.
I never thought it was possible. A resurrected Raven.
The Raven was never dead. I shot the wrong man.
But that man had the stolen goods, didn't he? So he must have been in league with the Raven. One could hardly call him innocent. You think that Dr. Gebhardt was really the Raven?
The things Gebhardt describes in his letter aren't part of any police report. Only someone who was there would know them.
Couldn't there have been others involved? One of the police, for instance. What if one of them changed sides?
Why is it so hard for you to accept the simple truth? There was never a new Raven. There was only ever the old one. And that was Dr. Gebhardt.
The modus operandi doesn't match. The Raven was not a killer.
Legends are rarely what they seem to be, Constable Zellner.
Then who was the man who was killed back then?
William Jackson, a petty thief, committed some burglaries together with his brother. Talented, but not world-class.
And they thought he was the Raven.
Some people thought it was part of his disguise. If you're a debonair master thief, what better disguise than pretending to be a common crook? From time to time you let them catch you pulling small jobs, and no one ever imagines you're capable of a major heist.
But you didn't believe it.
I had my doubts, but everyone congratulated me, and those doubts were pushed aside. It was like being caught in a storm, but eventually the storm passed and my doubts were still there.
But not this time? No doubts telling you that Gebhardt isn't our man?
It must be him.
Where do we go from here?
We deliver the eye and then I'll contact Paris. A task force will compare all of Gebhardt's known residences with the Raven's activity.
And if there are any inconsistencies?
You're welcome to keep an eye on the safe if you can't let it go. The ship will remain in Cairo for 1 day. That's all the time you'll have to catch your own Raven. I already have mine.
Не может все так просто быть. Я прямо уверен на 100%. Ну как-то вот... Нет. Я думаю, что игра дольше будет гораздо идти. Соответственно... Ворон не он.
Ah, you're one of Legrand's men, aren't you?
My name is Anton Jakob Zellner.
You've come just in time. Grace, my dachshund, is missing.
There may be more important matters for me to attend to, Mr.
Director Abbas Mokhtar. And Grace, isn't just a common dog. She's a purebred German dachshund, a champion.
Давай.
So, the exhibition will still open tonight.
But of course, everything has been arranged. The final preparations are almost complete.
But one of the two exhibits won't be there.
A terrible loss, a tragedy. That irreplaceable Egyptian cultural treasure has been stolen for the second time.
The second time?
What? Did you really believe that the eye of the Sphinx was found lying on the banks of the Thames?
What can you tell me about the museum's security system?
One of the best on the market. And the second eye will still be exhibited in our special treasure chamber, which is extra secure.
Treasure chamber?
See for yourself, to the right of the entrance. The eye is as safe as the British crown jewels.
Inspector Legrand, Professor Lucien, and Constable Oliver are overseeing the transportation of the safe. They should be here at any moment. I'll have a look around in the meantime.
Do you think that's necessary? The Raven is dead, after all.
If you mean Dr. Gebhardt, his body was never recovered. Nor the stolen eye of the Sphinx, for that matter.
It does us a great honor that the Inspector is concerned about us. But we have everything under control.
Legrand isn't as concerned as he should be. But I am. Is the museum closed?
Yes. Only carefully selected guests may enter the museum during preparations for the gala. And of course, you're one of them, Mr. Constable.
I think I'll have a look around the museum.
Please do. There's a lot to see. And you let me know if you see Grace, won't you? I hope we find her before. Isn't it fantastic how he solved the murder on the ship?
Legrand?
Of course. It's in all the newspapers. The murder of the wealthy Baroness von Trebitz, and how the great Inspector Legrand identified the murderer in just one day. It's the stuff legends are made of. You should count yourself lucky to have the chance to learn from him.
What exactly?
Everything. It's fantastic. Someone on board must have informed the press immediately. Of course, it's a great advertising for us. The reporters will queue up tonight.
And it was reported that Legrand...
Of course! Who else?
Well, I wasn't exactly uninvolved.
Of course. Legrand surely has assistants. But honor to he who deserves to be honored. Right?
Well then.
Be seeing you, Constable. Grace! Here, Gracie. My sweetheart. Where are you?
Oh, Mr. Inch.
Mr. Inch. There you are. I am so sorry. Baroness von Trebitz was a good-hearted woman. She did so much for the museum.
As you say, sir.
And you? Are you leaving so soon?
I'd like to go back to my hotel. These last days have been such a strain.
First, you sneak into the museum without greeting me, and then you want to leave just as quickly?
I didn't want to disturb you, and we'll have time enough tonight.
Yes, you simply must come tonight. I wanted to present Baroness von Trebitz with a medal. Now you'll have to accept it.
Of course, if you insist, sir.
The Baroness paid for all this. Without her...
She was very generous.
Yes, she was.
If you'll excuse me... Constable Zellner, I want to thank you again for all you've done. You saved me, you could say.
My pleasure. See you tonight.
Так, ну что, думаю, на этом мы закончим на сегодня. Спасибо всем, кто зашел, посмотрел. Если нравится, ставьте лайк обязательно. Подписывайтесь на канал. Мне, в принципе, все очень понравилось. Конечно, было сложно. слегка туповат, что еще сказать. И нужно тут много думать. Но, блин, по сюжету игра, ну, шикарная, по-моему. И картинка приятная в целом для глаза. Мне кажется, вся история с Вороном только начинается. И нам еще много-много вообще играть в нее. И узнавать, кто же он такой. Поэтому жду вас в следующий раз. Не знаю, когда это будет. Либо завтра, либо послезавтра. Обязательно видосик выложу. Будем вместе искать Ворона. А сейчас спасибо всем, кто заглянул. Всем пока.